Welcome to the Bill Spadea Show on demand. Don't forget to subscribe and follow the show so you'll never miss a minute. New Jersey 101.5.
Bill Spadea is compensated for commercial and nonprofit appearances.
6:09 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea with you till 10 o'clock this morning, talking Jersey, taking your calls. 1-800-283-101.5. So, got a lot to get to today. I do want to thank Parks Casino and Sportsbook for sponsoring New Jersey Chime Time every morning, every hour on the show. I'm torn, Eric. I have a couple things to tell you, and either could be a show-long topic.
Okay.
Why don't I start with the good?
Okay.
So last night we had dinner with Jared and Julia, our good friends from here, and it was a late night. 4 events yesterday. Did a spot on Trev's show, and we met them for dinner at 9 o'clock, which is late for us.
That's really late
on a school night, right?
I couldn't do that.
So so Jared had called me. He's like, "Hey, we were going to the Dinky Bar."
Oh, love the Dinky Bar.
So do I, right? But they had switched it up because I was late. We're supposed to meet at 8:30, and then, of course, it was 9 o'clock. So they ended up at Mistral in Princeton.
Another one of my favorites.
Right? So not in the back fancy part.
Yeah.
But in the front bar.
Uh-huh. Love the bar.
So they ordered ahead. This is one of my favorite things now. I want to have more friends that do this because I'm always late. So I'm just putting the all call out to our friends who we meet for dinner. It is okay to order ahead. We get there, and there's just literally he timed it perfectly. I said 9 o'clock. He said to the waitstaff, "Let's time this at 9:03." I showed up at 9:02, and they started serving. So one of the plates was they have an off the menu burger.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic. Now here's the challenge. Jody ordered that. Because they called, and they had this like Brussels sprout kimchi, which was. Have you had that there?
I had.
Why is that so good?
Yeah, I probably had the same meal with the same people just before I left for vacation.
Right? Is that where you went?
Yeah, we sat outside because the weather was nice.
I think they were closing up the outside because it was late, and the kitchen closes at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So all right, let me think now. There were scallops.
Yep, scallops were excellent.
Fantastic.
Did you
oysters.
Have the
oysters, scallops, the Brussels sprout kimchi.
Yep.
I'm trying to think what else. There was there was a smoked salmon with caviar or maybe it was salmon roe. I don't know. It's like the orange beads in some kind of a.
I don't think I had that.
I don't know what the hell it was in. It was super.
Mistral is fantastic, and it's the Dinky Bar is also a favorite. They had, I don't know if they have it anymore, but they have small plates at the Dinky Bar.
Yeah.
But they had one of the best turkey meatloaves I've ever had, and it was just a small, like mini meatloaf.
Yeah,
and it was to the point where I ordered another one.
You got it too.
It was that good. Yeah, both those places.
Have you had the burger at Mistral?
I don't think I've ever had a burger there because I wasn't eating a lot of meat for a long time. And
it's on like this toasted brioche bun. So it's a little shiny because I don't know if that's the butter or the egg wash or I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was great. And they have some kind of a sauce, not too sweet. It was, I don't know if it was a barbecue. There was something to the sauce that they put on it. But anyway, I'm pumped. Now I'm on a mission for another burger. Because I like the simplicity of the burgers at Tiger's Tail.
Oh, I love Tiger's Tail.
Right?
Burgers.
Love it.
Yeah.
So you got Tiger's Tail, you got Mistral, and I've not had the burger, though, at the Dinky Bar.
I don't know that I've had a burger at the Dinky Bar. I like at Tiger's Tail the grilled clams.
The clams and a burger. That's a meal. That's it. That's all you need.
A lot of times on a mostly not during the summertime, but in the fall, Sandra and I like to go there.
Yeah.
Because she likes to get the burger and I like to get the clams.
Yeah.
And, she'll only eat half the burger, so I'll have the clams that I eat half of her burger.
They also had a bourbon drink called Louisiana. Louisiana? Maybe it wasn't bourbon. Maybe it was gin. I don't remember. It was on their specialty cocktail.
Okay.
They had Julia got a bourbon drink that was it was clear.
Yeah,
Have you tried?
seem to remember that. The last time I was there, they make an amazing Manhattan. And I can't think of the bartender's name now, and I apologize, but he makes one of the best Manhattans I've ever had. And I had a lot of them.
Well, all right. So this is it. It's called the Louisiana, and yeah, that's it. It's done with rye and absinthe.
Oh,
Yeah. So so here's the challenge. I didn't get to bed till midnight. We left the restaurant at 10:50. So I got home around 11:05. And but anyway, I would recommend this. They just do a specialty cocktail. So the cocktail itself is like a meal.
yeah.
Because you're getting all the flavors, etc. Here's what I wanted to talk about, but now all I'm thinking about is the burger I want to have tonight now. Is how are they killing these Canada geese? Because I think they need to kill more of them.
So they round them up.
God, I hate them.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very polarizing
What town is
issue.
doing this?
So this is Peapack and Gladstone.
Nice fancy part of the state.
Yep. So they basically round them up. They put them in a sealed box, room, whatever, and they gas them with
Get outta here.
carbon dioxide.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How quickly do they die? Do they flutter around for a while? Is there like the lobsters in a pot where they bang on the top?
I haven't actually.
I'm going to get myself in trouble with the
watched
animal
it
rights folks.
Done, but it has been done by federal wildlife officials successfully for years and years. So the vote has been approved.
I love it.
And they wait until the early part of the summer when the geese are molting and they can't really fly. And
Nice.
then-
Catch them while they're fat and stupid.
And then the agents come in, they round them up, they put them all in a room and pump the room full of carbon dioxide, and that's the end of the geese.
All right, guys, what do you think? I think it's time to end the Canada geese problem we have. They are disgusting creatures. You can't eat them. They poop everywhere, and they peck at your car. I mean, honestly, they damage property. They're aggressive as hell. They ruin the lawns. There's no place for Canada geese in New Jersey. I think we need a ban on Canada geese. What do you think? Do you support the town of Peapack Gladstone? They're gassing the geese, literally. What do you think? 1-800-283-101.5. I say we need to do it everywhere. The state should come in, and the DEP ought to be doing it. 617, Fast Traffic Instant. When the next...
Got something to say? Dial 800-283-1015. Join the conversation on New Jersey 101.5.
Arrow.
623 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea with you till 10 o'clock this morning, talking Jersey, taking your calls, 1-800-283-101.5. So I know I'm not the only one. I never know who are the drivers behind policy that allows for our parking lots and lawns to be overrun by these disgusting Canada geese. Who are the drivers to protect these animals? Like I've said this about the deer. We simply have too much wildlife in a very condensed, high-density population area. And I'm not trying to be cruel, but I love what Peapack Gladstone is doing. Round them up, put them down, be done with it. Make them fertilizer. That's the end of it. We're done with the geese. Like they are gross, aggressive animals that serve. I don't know. Honestly, I wish someone if someone wants to advocate for the geese, I will give you the platform, because I'd love to know what use these animals have in our lives. All I can see is they are a total nuisance, and they're so wildly aggressive that you got to watch yourself, because they will come after you. Let's go to Stella in Cream Ridge. Hey, Stella, good morning.
Good morning.
So what do you think? You're a geese fan, or you're okay with putting them down?
Well, that's humane, but it would be great if they would allow the hunters to get more than one goose when they go out. for hunting.
Is there a hunting season for these Canada geese?
Yes,
So they're allowed one? Why?
that's my question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
The last season that my husband could have went, he didn't go because they were only allowed to get one. And this was supposed to help regulate their numbers. So I think that would be helpful if they would increase it.
Well, they should make it unlimited. Unlimited. You're not going to ever kill enough of them to stop them. But now, what do you do with it though? If you're a hunter, I mean, you're not eating the Canada geese, right?
You are. They're delicious, actually.
Stop. Are we talking about the same nasty animal?
Yeah, goose breast. It's very good.
How do you prepare the Canada geese?
Well, one way we do it is in the crock pot with onion soup mix. And the other way that's really good is when you make a ground goose tart, Tarts. There's a lot of recipes out there for it. It's very good.
Wait, say that again. What is it?
Goose tart, Tart.
Goose tart. Is it like a goose pie, kind of like a shepherd's pie or a cottage pie?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
really?
Ground meat and mushrooms. It's really good.
See, all I've heard is that they taste horrible.
Well, then they're not preparing it well.
All right, so you do. So tell me about the crock pot. You just slow cook it? Do you shred it? Like how do you do it?
You put the whole breast in there with a pat of butter and some wine and a can of cream of mushroom soup and a packet of onion soup mix.
So it's almost like a pot roast.
Yeah, it's very good.
Really? All right, Stella. Well, I am all in favor of an unlimited season on Canada geese. So let's just say we'll be adding that to our Common Sense platform. I don't know if it's a day one initiative, but it's certainly going to be up at the top of the list because I'm just sick of them.
I'm a first-time caller as well.
Well, we're happy to have you, Stella. And one of the things that you've pointed out correctly, it costs money to have the feds or the state come in and kill these things. It's free, and the hunters will pay for a tag if you go the other way.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yes.
you get a meal out of it. I love it. Well, Stella, I'm glad you called. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
You have a great rest of your day. Best to your husband. All right, so there you go. I was wrong. Well, to be honest, I've never tried the Canada geese. Sounds gross just because of how nasty they look. Do you agree, though, it's time to do something because there are way too many of them? And have you ever eaten one? Stella's the first person that has called that says they actually hunt them to eat. 1-800-283-101.5 is my number. 6:28 is the time. Eric Scott with the news in 2 minutes. 6:37 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea with you till 10 o'clock this morning. Talking Jersey. Taking your calls 1-800-283-101.5. So the town of Peapack Gladstone. Eric, what's that in Somerset County?
Yeah.
They've decided they have such a problem with these Canada geese that they've petitioned the federal government? I mean, these geese are protected by the federal government.
Well, migratory geese are protected. Resident geese or nuisance geese are not. The trick is, how do you find out whether a goose is...
The migrants don't have passports, right?
Right. I mean, they've been dealing with this for 20 years. And
some politicians want to give them driver's licenses.
The droppings have actually caused a local park to be closed.
It's that gross?
They've gotten that bad.
Poop Park.
Yeah. I mean, it's anybody that has encountered these, and, usually where there's water, there will be geese.
Eric, I used to fight with them. When I worked for Jim Weichert, great guy, great career with Weichert Realtors. I was there for almost 14 years, and our office off of Route 10, I was at Weichert Lead Network, and we were kind of in the woods a little bit, and I have had damage to my car.
Yeah.
Like, so people would see me from the upstairs window walking, literally doing a perimeter around my car, kicking the stupid geese to get them away from my car. It was so aggravating. And then people are like, they're protected. You got to be careful you don't kill one of them. And then, to your point, how would I know what's what?
Yeah, there was I think it was one of the first.
I'd be like, he wasn't migratory. He didn't have a Canadian accent.
And the goose poop, not only is it toxic, but I had one poop on the windshield of a brand new car that I had. So I got out with a roll of paper towels or napkins or something I had in there, and I tried to wipe it off of my windshield.
You can't get it off, right?
Well, but the sand and grit, it scratched my windshield so badly
because they eat anything.
That I had to have the windshield replaced.
Stop! That is the worst. Oh, I would be so angry.
I was livid.
Yeah,
I think I had the car like 2 days.
Oh, I'd be so mad.
I was furious. Yeah. And it's been an issue. Anybody who plays golf in New Jersey knows. I mean, they finally cleared them out of Princeton Country Club, which is one of the county courses for Mercer. But there were a couple of holes along the canal where it was so bad you couldn't play those holes because it was nothing but goose poop all over the tee boxes, all over the green. Heaven forbid you didn't hit the green because you're walking through and it gets caked in your spikes
balls
and
rolling through the poop.
It's disgusting.
You have to adjust your shots for the poop roll,
right?
Oh, gross. Yeah, I just it's time to get rid of these stupid things. So either we do it the freeway, which actually generates revenue, allow the hunters to bag as many as they want, or you bring in the feds and you kind of turn the blind eye. Are they migrant? Are they not? Let's assume they're all nuisance local geese, and you put them down. I think it would be okay if we had 0 left in New Jersey. Have you hunted these things? And do you agree with me? It's time to be harsh when dealing with the Canada geese. Let's start with Robert in Colts Neck. What's going on, Robert?
Hey. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good, man. So you're a hunter. What do you think?
I am. I definitely agree with everything you're saying. Like Eric said, the hard part, I think, is trying to identify, the residents and the migratory birds. Here in Colts Neck, they are considered migratory. Our parks are loaded with goose poop. This time of year and during the wintertime, it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
I do know our town, we do a pretty good job. We add all the eggs. We actually hire in an outside company to come in. They pretty much go to the nest and poke a hole in the eggs. Huge controversy over that, but does it help? I think it's something small. NJ Fish and Wildlife, they do a very good job, I think, at guiding the seasons. But, I go a few counties over. I could shoot during the nuisance season. You can shoot 5 a day. I go to the regular season. I can only shoot 2 a day. So is it helping the problem? Not much.
No, I mean, it should be unlimited, right? I mean, there's no, I just, what I don't understand is why you're not able as a company. I mean, I've got a pest service, right? We go to Western. They do a great job. I love them. The guys are there every 3 months and they spray. We decided, because we're kind of in the woods a little bit, I'm like, I got to fight hard to have a bug-free house because of where we are. And they will deal with, the field mice or any other kind of nuisance rodent that will come around. I want to know why we can't, if you have a company or a house, to say, look, I'm going to deal with these like any other pest. You have no right to be on my property.
They do have some companies out there that, they have the geese chasers.
Yeah, but they trap them and they let them go.
Correct.
That's the problem. Like they come back. It's like the stink bugs. If you have stink bugs in your house, right? You gotta flush them, because otherwise, if you throw them outside, they will find their way back in.
Correct. I agree with all that. I think there's definitely more that we could be doing. And, as we've said, too, and you and Eric always talk about cooking food. I mean,
do you eat them?
Very good. We do.
So the Canada geese, the disgusting, loud, pecking, pooping, it's good. How do you make it?
We usually do one of 2 ways. Either slice it thin and make jerky. Anything with jerky and teriyaki is outstanding.
Yeah.
So just dehydrate and go that way. Or we actually do a little bit of pastrami as well.
You do Canada goose pastrami. How long do you age it for? Like, how long does it hang?
I'm going to have to ask my wife on that one. I think she does it for a month or so.
Really? Boy, I would love a recipe on that. Unless it's some family secret.
No. A couple cookbooks. If I could shoot you, I'd have to take a look at which one I've got it from.
Yeah, send it on the app chat if you have it on your phone.
Yeah, Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, thanks, Robert. Hey, man, good to talk to you. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Let's go to, do I have time? Yeah, Ed in Jackson. What's going on, Ed?
Hey, how you doing, Bill? It's I make jerky as well out of the geese. Just a little bit of soy sauce and salt and pepper.
Do you use the, do you have your own dehydrator? You put it in a low, slow oven? What do you do?
Just do it in the dehydrator. It's real easy. You get it at Cabela's, or you can use any of Cabela's mixes. But I agree. They should definitely let people have a couple special days at these lakes, township by township, and just blast the heck out of them.
Yeah, because they're obviously whatever we're doing is not working. If a town has to spend money to bring in the feds to gas them, then clearly we're doing something wrong. I mean, I get it. I would be happy to pay for it. Now, we don't have a huge problem in Princeton, but when I worked in Morris County, I mean, it's an enormous problem. And they will damage your car. Like, they will peck at you, and they're totally aggressive. They're not afraid of anything. So anyway, I agree. How's the jerky though? It's good. I mean, can you have it any other way? Because jerky is so seasoned. You could substitute just about any meat.
Yeah, I kind of find the jerky's the only way for me. Crock-pot is a good second choice, but that's the only way for me.
I hear you. All right, man. Thank you, Ed. Have a great rest of your day. You take care. All right, we're talking Canada geese. Are you a hunter? Have you eaten these disgusting birds? Do you have a good recipe for me? But at the end of the day, do you agree? And I'm not trying to be controversial, and I'm not trying to be brash or harsh on this, but I think that we really should be planning to really eradicate as best we can these nuisance pests. These Canada geese are disgusting. They poop everywhere. And, yeah, there's no reason that you should miss a hole of golf because we've got some out-of-control wildlife that's crapping all over the green. It makes no sense to me. Put them down or open up the hunting season and have you kill as many as you want. 1-800-283-101.5 is my number. 6:46 is the time. Traffic and weather next.
Your phone, your radio. It's that simple. Download the New Jersey 101.5 app for an on-the-go listening experience. Thanks to our Listen Live sponsor, Guaranteed Service, New Jersey's premier plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical service provider.
Arrow. 6:52 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea with you till 10 o'clock this morning. Talking Jersey, taking your calls. 1-800-283-101.5. Joe Myra, do you have an animal problem in your yard?
I have animals problems in my yard.
You got a problem on your chair right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, why? I'm comfortable.
Is there a corporate policy with the dogs? Did I just out something?
I don't know. Well, Brian.
that dog doesn't take any space up.
Yeah,
though.
this isn't really a dog.
What's the dog's
7
name?
pounds. Winnie.
Winnie.
Yeah.
Is Winnie asleep in the chair?
Yeah, pretty much. Your voice lulls her to sleep.
That's what it is. I have put a lot of people to sleep this morning.
Many have said, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, what's in my backyard right now and in my house and in my gutters, it's wild kingdom, and I've had enough. There was something the other night.
In your gutters? Who's living in your gutters?
There is a party of birds in my gutters. I don't even want to tell you what's going on. It looks like some kind of, I don't know.
Did they build a nest in the gutter?
It was
yeah. It's like
I was like, what is going on? And it's right over my bedroom window.
Like a bird orgy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there you go.
Is that legal? I'm sure
know.
it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. So the birds are reproducing
it's okay.
aggressively. That's what we're saying.
So I'm glad because sometimes I could hear maybe, I don't know what's going on in my gutters. There's all kinds of life.
So is there noise at night? Are they partying late?
And they're running.
Like they're drinking, they're vaping, they're doing all kinds of things?
Yeah. Then I have the fox. Then there's, and the fox's babies that are like.
They do. They scream. I don't like the foxes. Yeah.
Right? Now the garter snakes, because you and I opened the pool. We open our pool.
They come out.
There was something the other night. I let the dogs out.
But I've got no heat on because it's like a cold plunge right now.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like a piece of a snake. I think my lawn guy must have hit a snake.
I go out and kill them. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I take the shovel and you just cut their heads off.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Do you wear like some kind of like outfit, like you're there with?
I
like,
run around the
spear?
yard with the shovel in the air first. Yeah, and I
Oh my
no, I
goodness.
don't do that.
Well, then I had the dog sniffing at this piece of snake, and I'm like, I'm worried that my bigger dog is going to eat a dead snake.
How many dogs do you have? 2?
Yeah, there's 2.
So you have 2 dogs. You got a family of birds. A family of foxes.
We've got what's that called? A groundhog dug under the deck.
Really?
So my next door neighbor has a trap.
Do you live in the woods? Don't you live in like a totally paved area?
Welcome to Jersey. There's speed bumps on the side street next to me and Wild Kingdom.
I think it's now. Do you have an extermination service? Like, do you have a pest removal service?
Like we are best friends. Roger will come out.
Right.
I'm like, Roger.
So you got no bugs in the house.
No.
And no mice.
No, he sets all the traps. He knows where his traps are. But because I don't want that stuff. And then slugs.
Slugs?
There was some kind of like.
Where are the slugs?
Blob of sliminess on my deck.
Really?
I'm so sick of nature.
Are they falling out of the trees?
I don't know. They're in my grass.
I'm kind of a paved nature guy. I like the paving.
I like hardscaping, you know?
Yeah. Hardscape is good. I'm with you on that. All right, so here's the question, because I got completely off topic and off the rails. Thank you, Jill. Canada geese, they're overwhelming. Should we be gassing them, shooting them? How do you want to deal with the Canada geese problem? I would love it if somebody wants to defend these filthy, disgusting animals. I think it's time to just eradicate them. They serve no purpose. At the very least, it should be unlimited hunting on the Canada geese. Have you ever been attacked by one? I can tell you I have. They've come after my car. They've pecked at my legs, pecked at the car door. I can't stand them. I think they're nasty. It's time to put them down. 1-800-283-101.5 is the number. Time is 6:56. The news is next in 4 minutes.
What do you think? We want to know. Dial 800-283-1015. Join the conversation on New Jersey 101.5.
7:10 on New Jersey 101.5. I am Bill Spadea. Let's jump right back into it. We're talking about Canada geese. Huge menace in New Jersey. They'll peck at your cars. They'll peck at your ankles. They'll poop on your windshield, and you'll get all the sand and grit, as you heard Eric talking about earlier. Scratches your windshield. They're disgusting. Peapack Gladstone decided, we're done. We're going to round them up and gas them to death. That's it. Done. Problem solved. I say there's a better way. Shoot them. Let's have the hunters out there, and let's eradicate them by making it unlimited hunting season. Let's go to start with Jason on the Turnpike. Morning, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing good. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I used to work in aviation, and they are probably the largest number of bird strikes. And
you know, Jason, I didn't even think of that.
Engine.
Really? How high do they fly? I mean, I guess they fly high enough to migrate,
Usually
right?
it's takeoff. Yeah, but it's usually takeoff. Takeoff and landings are when most bird strikes happen.
So even low, so like they're fluttering to get out of the way of the plane, and they get sucked into the engine. Did it ever happen to you, or you watched it happen?
I've had to clean the aftermath up. I was a technician.
Wow, how difficult is that cleanup?
Usually, if you're lucky, the engines ingested most of it, but it's still having to go in there and figure out what's broken and what's not.
That's
and it
what
hours to do.
Man, that's a dirty job. That you could be on that show, Dirty Jobs, with that.
Yeah,
right.
I changed jobs.
Yeah, what do you do now?
I'm a trucker.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. How long have you been driving?
I've been driving now for about 3 years.
Are you over the road or local?
Regional.
Not bad. How far do you go?
I can go all the way out. I've gone all the way out to Chicago, and I go as far south as Florida.
Not bad. Do you love it?
I love it. I wouldn't still be doing it.
Yeah, good for you, man. That's great. Freedom of the open road. I love it. I've always thought what a cool career to pick up, and the money's not bad, right?
Money's not bad. I love it. It's a great time. I spend a lot of time just looking out. I used to have a teacher that told me I would never make money looking out a window. Joke's on her.
I love it. Jason, that is a great line. Making money looking out a window. Good on you, man. Thanks for calling. Appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day. Nick, hang in there. I'm going to get to you first. Other side of traffic and weather. Right now it's 7:13. Traffic weather in 4.5 minutes.
New Jersey 101.5 is available on smart speakers. Listen at home by saying, play New Jersey 101.5.
7:21 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea. I want to thank Parks Casino and Sportsbook for sponsoring Chime Time every morning, every hour on the show. Hey, you can experience the ultimate world food extravaganza. Mercer County Park this weekend. Enjoy more than 50 global flavors, live music, and even pro wrestling. Secure your tickets today at megabiteevents.com. That's mega, M-E-G-A, bite, B-I-T-E, events.com. megabiteevents.com, or at the door for just $15. Kids under 12, parking is free. Well, parking is free no matter what. Tickets for kids under 12 is free. Obviously, the kids can park for free. 7:22, talking about geese. Speaking of food extravaganza, I had no idea that people were actually eating these disgusting Canada geese, but apparently they are. I find them nasty, and I think it's time to get rid of them. And the way we get rid of them is we open up hunting season and we eliminate the limits. Like, why are we so afraid of a bunch of radical animal rights activists? They're just agitators. And there's a line that many of these animal rights folks cross where they become so pro-animal, they're anti-human. A true animal lover understands the value of thinning the herd, culling the herd, hunting. Hunters in New Jersey are the true environmentalists and conservationists. They are the true lovers of these beasts out there. And all the people that feel sorry for the animals and personify the animals, make them and pretend they're human, you guys are just way off base. And as far as these geese, they're nasty creatures that we need to kill more of. Let's start with Jane in Central Jersey. Morning, Jane.
Hey, Bill. Good morning. How are you?
Thanks for asking. I am doing great today. I am ready to be done with the geese.
You know what? That makes two of us. So I live in the area of Peapack Gladstone.
Oh, okay.
And it is filthy. There's a beautiful park in the middle of town. You can't walk your dog in it. Your kids are certainly not playing in it, just from the amount of residual left over by the geese. They cross the street. They're actually fairly dangerous. They will hiss at you. They will come after you, particularly when they have newborns and babies coming in. It's just not conducive for such a small town, and it's not like you mind having some of them, but now it's being overrun by them. Yeah.
Well, one or two is a nice sight. Like, I don't mind, and when we moved to our house in Princeton, there's a deer run. I don't know if you call it a rut or a run. I don't know. They have a regular slot that they run through the yard, and it's their connector between my neighbor's house and across the street and into the woods. And it's cool, right? We watch them.
Right.
It's a nice sight. The kids loved it. Like, you'd get up in the morning, have your coffee, and you knew that the deer would be running. Well, once it went from like 4 or 5 deer you'd see every couple days to a half a dozen, then a dozen. Then I'm now looking both ways, backing out of my driveway. Then I'm looking on either side of the road as I drive to work, and I'm like, oh, wow, okay, today I counted 22 deer. Like, it gets to a point where it's too much. You got to get rid of them. And I think the geese are the same way. You know, you see 1 or 2 in the yard, you don't really care because how much poop is that really going to be? But when you see dozens and dozens of these nasty creatures and they're pooping everywhere, they're pecking at everyone and everything, it's just time to do something. My solution is let the hunters have at it, no limits.
Well, I agree with you, and I do believe, too, if you know the area where this park is, there's actually a little playground right across the street. And, you know, you really don't want your kids near that. It's kind of caused a lot of problems. They put a lot of money into this park, taxpayers' money, and it can't really be used. There's no ducks anymore. There used to be beautiful ducks. the geese, I think, have bullied them out of the park.
Yeah, I'm sure.
know.
Now, ducks, for their part, are delicious. I love duck. Oh, there's a place in Vermont we used to go to. They have a blueberry reduction that they serve with the duck, and it's one of the great things I've ever had, and there's nowhere in New Jersey that makes it. Anyway, Jane, as you know, I can easily get distracted by food.
Too funny. So I think at this point, something definitely needs to be done. I mean, obviously, most people are animal lovers. We're not looking to do this because, for the joy of it.
No, humane
for the geese,
culling of the herd, or the flock in this case.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm with you.
For sure.
Thanks, Jane. Nice talking to you.
Have a great day, Bill. You too.
You too. Bye now. All right, Nick, Tom, Zach. You know I'm coming back, like it or not. 7:27 is the time, which means I'm about a minute late into news. Eric Scott will be back in about 2.5 minutes for you. 7:37 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea with you till 10 o'clock this morning, talking Jersey, taking your calls, 1-800-283-101.5. So, we're talking about these stupid Canada geese. I'd love to know the logic behind the animal rights activists who want to protect these beasts. They're gross. They poop everywhere. The poop is toxic, meaning wash your hands, don't touch it. They wreck parks. They peck at cars. And I don't know that we would miss them in the food chain if they were completely eliminated. I think we ought to try. Let's see if New Jersey can be the first state to eliminate all Canada geese. We need to close the New Jersey border to Canada geese. You're not welcome here. We're tired of subsidizing your reckless lifestyle. It's enough. Undocumented geese. Enough. Let's go to Nick in North Jersey. What's going on, Nick? Hey, Nick.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
I was just thinking, is there a possible to use birth control on the geese so that it's not so doesn't sound so rough by gassing them?
Gas them, shoot them. I mean, all effective forms of birth control, right? A dead goose is not having little geese. But to your point, if it sounds more humane, I will tell you this, Nick. They talk about that with the deer. I don't know. Eric, has that ever honestly worked as policy?
No, they've tried it, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, right? That's the thing, Nick. Like Eric and I have talked about this with the deer. Why? Because you can't get to all of them,
right? And I mean,
right?
they've tried to addle the nests.
What does that mean?
Remove the eggs, destroy the eggs before they hatch, but clearly, that hasn't.
Was it you talking about it, or somebody else just said they poke holes in the eggs?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a thing?
That's part of it.
But somebody has to go around poking holes in the eggs.
That's right. I mean, you have to go through and find the nest and then addle the eggs, and it has. Towns have tried that. It hasn't.
Now, how do you hunt them? Is it a shotgun? Is it a
birdshot?
Birdshot with your shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So it's low range, right? You got to be close, relatively close.
Relatively
right?
close, yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're using, but yeah, I mean,
it's not a real danger to surrounding homes, et cetera. It's not like a rifle.
No, not like that. But I mean, look, I wouldn't want somebody shooting birdshot in the retention basin behind my house.
No, this is you.
Right.
Right. Exactly. Shooting out, not toward the house. Right.
I mean, there is a risk, obviously, as with any firearm, but I mean, it's not practical to really hunt them in, parks and residential areas. And that's where they've become, or golf courses, or, that's where they become the biggest problems. The same as, dealing with deer, where they're using a rifle or a shotgun deer hunting. You don't necessarily want somebody walking through a highly populated residential area, although they have tried that with sharpshooters. I think Princeton was the last town to do that, where they brought in the special sharpshooters at night
to deal with the deer.
Rifles to call the deer. And so there are other ways out there. this is probably one of the more effective ways
The gassing.
of control. Right, because it's
because you're dealing with dozens at a time. Like you're rounding them up.
Yes.
Like these geese patrol companies are rounding them up and taking them to the next town. Like it's somebody else's problem. It's still a problem.
Well, or they're chasing them away. I mean, you have the dogs that are trained to chase the geese away, and part of it is conditioning geese. So you'll get one flock and you'll condition them not to be in a particular area, but they'll go to another area and become a nuisance. And then you get another flock that comes in right behind them because, hey, there's no geese here now. This is now our house.
Right.
And, so you're really just shifting them around at this point. The process.
It's the equivalent of shoving everything under your bed because your mom tells you to clean your room.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Or
throw it in your sister's room.
And that's part of the problem with the population is that, there's too many of them at this point. And, where do you take them?
What do you do with them? Yeah. Look, guys, I am all in favor of an expanded hunt. Let's go to Tom in Jefferson. What's going on, Tom? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Bill. How are you?
I'm doing great, Tom. So the eggs, what do you think?
I work down at the Marine Ocean Terminal in Bayonne,
Yeah.
where the Royal Caribbean cruise ships come in. And that happens to be the nesting area for all these Canadian geese. So the Port Authority, they pay this guy. He comes down every couple of weeks, and he puts a kayak in the water, and he actually goes under the pier, and he takes the eggs out of the nest. And as soon as he does that, all the geese disappear.
No kidding.
Yeah. He, once they start showing up, and, you can't miss them. They're all over the place. He
Well,
just
that's
gets
the
in
thing.
Water and he goes under the pier and he takes the eggs out of the nest, and then the next day, all the geese are gone.
It sounds simple, but again, I don't know if it works on a mass scale, right? Because some of the towns have tried this, and they get inundated. I think part of the problem is that people err on the fact and the side of saying, well, maybe they're migratory, so I don't want to get rid of them because I don't want to violate the law, when in reality, you don't know which is which. I mean, if you've got hundreds, Tom, laying eggs, I don't know. I think it's kind of impractical. Maybe in a small spot, maybe that's a good solution on your own private property, right? Get rid of the nest, get rid of the eggs, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you, Tom. Have a great rest of your day. Appreciate the tip. Bud, Joey, everybody hang in there. I'll be back. It's coming up on 7:45. We're talking about Canada geese. They're an enormous nuisance. The poop is toxic, and they poop everywhere. They peck at your car. They're a danger to everyone. They're gross and sloppy, and I think we need an expanded hunt to have an unlimited hunt. Shoot as many as you need to. What do you think? 1-800-283-101.5, 745 Fast Traffic Instant weather next.
Download the New Jersey 101.5 app. Sign up for alerts and receive instant notifications on breaking news, weather, and traffic. Staying connected to what matters most.
7:51 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea with you till 10 o'clock this morning, talking Jersey, taking your calls, 1-800-283-101.5. So, the damn geese, they're back with a vengeance. One town, Peapack Gladstone, decided they're going to round them up and gas them. Sounds a little extreme. My question is always, why don't we just let the hunters do what hunters do? Like, hunters go, they kill them, they eat them. I don't know. Isn't that part of the whole ecosystem cycle of life? Right? Let's go to Jackie in Peapack. Morning, Jackie. You're not so happy about the gassing, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm not, Bill. Thank you for taking my call.
You bet.
My girlfriend and I started the Save the Geese campaign here in Peapack Gladstone. I am a homeowner here for 17 years, and I knew nothing about geese up until a month and a half ago. I had read it in my local paper that they were going to round them up and gas them in it.
Yeah, they're doing it.
With carbon dioxide.
Mm-hmm.
So I am doing a little research on this, and the town, it's about a mile down the street from where I live. They're doing high-end redevelopment, putting high-end condos in there, and that is my theory of why they want to get rid of these geese and kill them. I jog down there every day. There's maybe 10 at the most down there. It's not infested like the mayor is saying. There's not hundreds of them. If people are complaining about the duck poop, we have volunteered as residents to come and clean it up. And people have to educate themselves. I've been in touch with Rutgers University. They're saying the duck poop or the geese poop is not as deadly as people are saying. So we're going to a town meeting tonight in Peapack Gladstone, and we're going to continue to fight this inhumane, cruel method that they are planning to use.
Jackie, are you okay with a hunting season for these geese?
Okay, yeah, see that? I talked to you before. I'm the vegetarian for gun rights. So, I'm kind of in a gray area.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
To be honest, I would rather see them hunted than gassed.
Okay. So, Jackie, I asked that because you're a reasonable person. And, look, people who want to choose to be a vegetarian and not eat meat, I don't understand it. I can't imagine. I mean, you may as well take a pill for your nutrients than not eat meat. I can't even imagine a world that I'm not eating delicious, slow-cooked duck confit or some beef tenderloin. Anyway, the point is, right, the point is that to me, one of the most humane things you can do is have hunters essentially continue the life cycle, right? You shoot a duck or a goose and you eat it. And it's nothing different than what happens in the wild. So if you're okay with that, then you have a lot more credibility with me, Jackie, that maybe you're right. Maybe the mayor's going a little too far. Maybe this is an aggressive move to allow for these higher-end developers to come in and say, well, we don't want our fancy rich friends to have to step in goose poop.
Yes, Bill, I love you. Thank you so much. We met eye to eye on that. Yeah,
I get you.
And
Jackie, I hear you. You could be turning my opinion on this. I don't know. I look, I'm so sick of the overdevelopment in this state that are we really going to remove a part of wildlife to accommodate more development? Is that what people really want? Do we want more development? Because I think we want less. I think we want to make sure that we stabilize our housing prices, we stop this high-density housing, and we create an economy so that first-time homebuyers can afford to buy a place to live. That's the New Jersey I'd like to see.
Same here, Bill.
All right, Jackie, do me a favor. Do you have a website or anything else for your group?
On Facebook, I made a little Facebook page.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold. Can you make sure that producer Kristen knows how to get there, how to tag me in a post, and I'll be happy to share it, at least to start the conversation, because we need to be able to have a discourse about this. Agree or disagree on the finer points. You've brought up a very valid point, and I will tell you, Jackie, you're the first person to bring up this point that this could be overblown to accommodate some money guys. And that is beyond the pale, if you ask me. All right, Jackie, I'm going to put you on a quick hold. Thank you for calling. Joey, Jim, Camille, Bud, everybody wants to talk about the Canada goose, the menace that they are. About 10 minutes ago, I was all in favor of gassing them. Now I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm erring on the side of hunters. That's the solution. 1-800-283-101.5 is the number. 7:56 is the time. Eric Scott with the news in 4 minutes.
Your direct line to the studio, all in one app. Download now and use our New Jersey 101.5 in-app chat to connect with our hosts. Stay engaged, stay connected. Join the conversation.
8:09 on New Jersey 101.5. I am Bill Spadea. We are talking about these Canada geese. And wait, first, I want to thank Parks Casino and Sportsbook for sponsoring New Jersey Chime Time every morning, every hour on the show. Go Parks. We love it. But everybody hang in there. I'll get back to it because I just want to ask you, Eric, I have been flooded with phone calls and social media messages in the past 24 hours about this open public records bill. And I would say it didn't break on partisan lines. It broke in a really weird way. You've got some legislators like Christian Barranco who were gung-ho saying this is a bad bill, I'm not going to vote for it. Then you get others like Bob Singer and Carmen Amato in the Senate who are like, no, it's a cleanup bill. It didn't seem to be the kind of bill that would really invoke passion. We heard that one legislator that you quoted in the news story. What's his name?
Bergen.
Bergen, yeah. And he's yelling about it. And I'm thinking, is it to that level? Was it what was the bill? What did it actually accomplish?
Well, it made it more difficult to obtain records.
So you make a request for a public record, you file an Oprah request.
Yes, it's called an Oprah request.
So it's making it harder to do that.
Yeah, it allows government clerks up to 14 days to respond to requests for records. Now, that response can be a couple of different things. It could either be no, it could be a clarification, it could be we need more time. But the other thing that was really an important provision in this bill was the idea of capping attorneys' fees. Because, what will happen is if you're denied, there is an appeals process that you can go through. And in many cases, you need legal representation to be able to do that. And if a municipality or an agency was found to be in violation of the Open Public Records Act, then they had to not only provide the records, but they had to pay your attorney fees.
What about the anonymity? Because one of the things that I addressed when I talked to Senator Bob Singer about this, I said, one of the things that bothers me is you don't need to identify yourself if you're asking for it. You could put John Smith down and get a record request. And I can tell you, my political enemies are out there. They've pulled requests on me and my wife, and it is aggravating. It's like, really? You can do that? And I can't even find out who is asking for information, but you can access, a conversation that I had with the police over something. And I don't know. I had some empathy for the guy supporting the bill just based on personal experience.
Well, I mean, that provision wasn't really touched. So you can make an anonymous request, or you are not necessarily entitled to know who is requesting that information. It doesn't go both ways, and I can see both sides of that.
I can too.
A lot of those were done with so-called commercial requests, and commercial being not a citizen. Not just a typical citizen. So the commercial request,
a company or a private investigator or somebody doing their job. Yeah,
something like
that.
And originally those were going to be banned. They kept that provision in there, so you can still make a commercial request, but in many cases you have to pay for it. There'd be a cost involved, because if you're asking for a large document dump, then there is a cost associated.
Are
with
you
that.
surprised how controversial this thing became?
I'm not, because there was a push a while ago to even expand the Open Public Records Act to make more things accessible to the public. If you're asking as a journalist and somebody who has taken advantage of Oprah requests ever since the law was enacted, I'd like to see all of the restrictions taken away, because this makes it a little bit easier for things to be done in darkness rather than in light. Because if you think that nobody is watching you and you're an elected official, chances are you'll be led down a path that you don't want the public to see. Anytime there is increased transparency is good for journalism. It's good for voters. It's good for the state of New Jersey.
Then why not just have all this stuff accessible on a website?
A lot of it
where
is.
You could search.
Yeah, I mean, there is a good portion of it that is available. If you're looking at legislation, you can look that up online. But if you wanted to find out what the story was behind that, if you suspected that this piece of legislation was enacted, sponsored, passed, signed because of some type of backroom deal or nefariousness, now you've got to dig a little bit deeper. And now you've got to look at, well, can I have the emails between all of the stakeholders? Can I have phone records between the stakeholders?
Which you're talking about elected officials. Like,
yes.
I'm not an elected official. And the fact that someone could anonymously request information on my wife, Jody, and literally just a fishing expedition, like no specific anything, and say, for the history of time at this address, I want to see everything.
Yeah.
And
it's called the any and all. I want the any and all.
And I am disappointed in my Republican friends that they did not put some limitation on that. If you're an elected official, I think very different. I think if you're a private citizen, there ought to be some limitation to it. And I'm not asking your opinion. I'm saying I'm disappointed they did not address that. And I wonder if that's part of the reason why some people were really upset, because you almost have no right of privacy in this state. Well, and that was what the far left was arguing.
Yeah, I mean,
the ACLU and others.
I think the illusion of privacy is just that. It's an illusion at this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
think
agree.
No matter what you do, where you go, what you say, you have to assume that somebody is watching, listening, and potentially recording.
Yeah.
So a lot of that doesn't hold a lot of weight in terms of, where I fall on that issue. But I will tell you that as a journalist, if this bill is signed into law by the governor, as we expect that it will be, it is a loss for the public and government transparency.
It'll be harder to access things.
It will be harder to access the information that we need.
Meanwhile, as a private citizen, whether I have a future plan to be public or not, I have no protections whatsoever. You can just do any and all and go find whatever the hell you want.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's the problem. So, by the way, guys, Republicans and Democrats, you missed on this one, no doubt about it. 8:17, we're going to be back to geese after traffic and weather next.
Your daily dose of New Jersey on the go. Download the New Jersey 101.5 app, enroll in alerts, and dig into local stories, news, weather, and more. Your connection to everything Jersey.
8:22 on New Jersey 101.5. I am Bill Spadea. All right, I want to jump back and talk about these geese. Last point on this Oprah bill. I think it is very disappointing. I understand the cost to municipalities. I understand why my friends Bob Singer and Carmen Amato voted for it. I get it, guys, and I'm not going to knock you for it at all, because there are certainly multiple sides to this. I am, however, disappointed that we have a bill that further restricts the public from finding out about some of the nasty stuff that does go on behind the scenes in Trenton. We ought to be making our public officials more accountable, not less. And I say that as a guy that, as you know, there could be something in the future, but let's forget about me personally. In the lead up to that, I've had to deal with people harassing my family, me. They go after stuff. They have no basis for it, but they just want to find some dirt to take out of context. And that's part of the problem with the whole process. You get something out of context and it becomes an ad. Look at the kitchen table conservatives running ads on this station, taking my words and literally editing them together to make a point. And it failed because they were trying to make a point that I do not support President Trump. And then, of course, President Trump came on the show and refuted that. So that is the end of that. But it took me to get the President of the United States on the show because of these liars in politics. And that was my big issue with this. So just so you understand where I'm coming from on it, we don't need to make a big deal out of it. And, what are we going to do? We're going to move on. Let's talk about geese. Stamp geese. God, I hate them. Let's go to Camille in Chester. Hey, Camille.
Hey, good morning, Bill. Thanks
Morning.
for taking my call.
You got it.
So I know you spoke with Jackie a few moments ago.
Oh, the Save the Geese lady. Yes.
Yep, that's us.
Are you with her?
So, yeah, I'm part of that team, and yes, that's exactly why I'm
Camille, would you say that the reason you're a part of it is do you agree with Jackie that it's okay to have a hunt and to cull this flock, but the idea of rounding them up en masse and gassing them was more to accommodate the developers than anything else? Is that your position too?
Yes, interesting you say that. So we just recently found out about this development, and it's going to be extremely high end. And things were never adding up. I went to the meeting on April 16th, the mayor's meeting,
And he and I spoke, and things just were not adding up. And I asked the question, well, you had the swans. The swans kept the geese away.
Mm-hmm.
They never replaced the swans. Why not? He couldn't answer me.
Wow.
Animal rights attorney Doris Lynn offered him proven methods to the town. She was going to help the town with proven methods to get rid of the geese, help them with the geese, take care of this issue, take it off their hands. They ignored her.
Yep.
Why? So Jackie and I said to Jackie, things are not adding up. Something is not.
So you guys are going to the hearing tonight, right? There's a public, is it tonight?
7 o'clock tonight.
Can you do me a favor, Camille? Can you and Jackie call me tomorrow and keep me posted? Let me know what happens tonight.
Oh, we will. We will.
Take video. I've got to jump, but do me a favor. Take video and call tomorrow, let's say around in the 8 o'clock hour, and let me know what happens.
Okay, we will. Thanks, Bill.
Appreciate you. Take care. All right, everybody else hang in there. I'll be back. Janet, Camille, Joey, Bud, 8:25. Eric Scott with your news in 4.5 minutes. $8:38 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea. All right, let's talk about it. These damned geese. I started the morning hating the geese. And then we had a couple of folks calling in that at least had me now on the fence with the whole gassing of the geese. Because this thing in Peapack, what they're saying is that they're rounding up the geese and killing them in the most humane way possible with gas. But some are saying it's only to satisfy this big fancy rich development coming in. Well, I don't know. Are they gassing the geese in the working class towns so that the rest of us don't have to walk through goose crap? Or is it just the rich that get a crap-free walk? Let's go to Kimberly on Route 38. Morning, Kimberly. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Bill.
How you doing?
So I'm well, or I hope you're good too.
Good.
So
I am.
I need to clap back a little bit on Camille and Jack.
I love it. A good clap back. We need it. Tell me. What do you want to say?
I believe that the geese poop is not toxic to human touch, but I have vet bills to say differently when dogs eat the geese poop. So what happens is the geese, whatever they're eating, and they go in turn poop in the water, in the runway, or like the curbs, or even on the grass. If you've ever owned a golden retriever, you know that they will eat anything.
Oh, my God. We had a golden named Fenway. She lived to 13. What a great dog. And Kimberly, you are so right. That stupid dog would eat the groundwater on the street. Like, there was no limit to what she would eat and drink. You're right.
Yep. So I would literally take him for a walk, and he would grab the goose poop. I would have to put my hand down his throat.
Gross.
To grab it out. And if I didn't get it, it was like a 5-day situation.
Oh.
It was a bad episode of Dexter.
Oh, sorry. That's awful.
So I mean, I'm not about gassing them. I think that's really inhumane because I think they would suffer. I say just round them up and shoot them.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, too. I think there has to be, you know what I don't like, Kimberly? That everything in this state is so extreme. So, first of all, why is this a town-by-town issue? Shouldn't the Department of Environmental Protection have some kind of a ruling out there to say, guys, we got to limit and cull the herd or the flock in this case. You don't want the geese poop everywhere. We're not trying to eradicate a species. And to me, if you just allowed the hunters to have an unlimited number, I don't think you'd have this problem of these geese the way we have it today.
It's bad. I came out of work the other day and it was like all over my car, and I lost it. I was like, really?
Just so you know, Kimberly, I started the day as angry as you were about it because I just had flashbacks to my days at Weichert Lee Network, and I would have to fight these stupid geese off because they'd be pecking at my car when I pulled up. Make me crazy.
After they have their babies. They're mean after they have their babies.
Yeah, they're nasty animals. So the only thing I'll say in defense of the two ladies that called about the Save the Geese is if they've exposed that the only reason the mayor's good with this is to accommodate one developer and one new rich development, then I have a slight problem with that because that's ignoring all the, like, you didn't act when the dogs were getting sick in the middle class neighborhoods. So I got an issue with that. I don't really, the rich get a lot of things and a lot of breaks. And I don't know that the rich dogs should be the only ones that are free of the goose poop. I think
1,000%.
so. That's where I am at. All right, Kimberly. Thank you. You take care. Yeah, you too. Nice talking to you. I'm like a goose populist is what I am. I think we need to have goose poop free runs for all dogs and people. And we shouldn't just have this available to the very wealthy. Do we agree with that? Let's go to Janet, who's also in Peapack. Morning, Janet.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
I'm doing great. This is the most conversation I've had with Peapack Gladstone in my 9 years on the air.
I can imagine. So I am actually right in front of the park on my way to church. I walk to church daily mass mornings, and I am tiptoeing around it, and I'm actually across the street. I can't even walk in front of the park.
Really?
Can't walk.
So are the Save the Geese ladies underscore? They're not really. Are they downplaying the situation?
Look, everybody has their position, right? And everybody feels strong. I don't think any one of us wants animals killed. I don't think anybody wants that. But the problem is, and I've lived here for 35 years. It's become untenable. You cannot go into the park. You can't walk on the sidewalk in front of the park. You can't walk on the sidewalk across the street from the park. It's filthy.
Yeah.
Filthy. And these poor geese are trying to find places to go. We see them on people's lawns a block away where they have a tiny little creek coming out. And there's a dozen of them trying to get to the water.
Yeah. Well, actually, Janet, you've hit the nail on the head with why we have to limit the population in New Jersey in particular, because the far more inhumane act is to allow the animals to overpopulate because they don't have natural predators. And all of a sudden you've got a large number of animals looking for a finite number of food and drink. And that's part of the problem. It's what happens with the deer. That's why you see these deer sometimes in years where we don't have a great hunt and they're bony and you see their ribs and you're like, whoa, what's going on? Not cool. Yeah, I'm with you.
Now, that park used to be used for movies at night. You'd go down and set up your lawn chair. You can't do that. There's no way you could walk around down there and set up anything.
Well, I am 100% in favor of doing whatever it takes to clear the park. And I think that what we ought to be thinking about now is allowing the hunters to have unlimited access. Let's stop limiting the true conservationists in this state who are the hunters. And most of these hunters, which I didn't know until today, they are actually eating the geese they shoot. So kind of a win-win if you ask me. Thanks, Janet. Enjoy Mass. You take care. All right, Rich, Jim, Bud. Yeah, I'll be back. 8:45 Fast Traffic Instant Weather next.
Feel like a winner today? Then you should sign up for contest alerts on our free New Jersey 101.5 app.
8:54 on New Jersey 101.5. I am Bill Spadea. We're talking about the Canada geese. What do we do? How do we get rid of them? Should we get rid of them? Let's start with Bud in Bradley Beach.
Bill, how are you?
Good, Bud. You got 30 seconds. What do you think about the geese? Kill them? Keep them? What do you do?
Well, it's been a problem for more than just this year, but they're a pain in the neck. They, they cause cars to slow down. They walk out in the streets. Every time you take wedding pictures someplace, they roll out of park and you got to walk around. I suggest they put something in the water.
Yeah, but what water, right? They're drinking from the ponds and the rivers and the creeks, and
well, that's what I mean. Every single park that they're at, there's always water around that park.
Yeah, but won't you then interfere with the other animals?
No. I mean, in Ocean Grove, there's goose heads all over the place because they have foxes there.
Yeah.
And when I bring my granddaughter over, it's like I don't want her to see dead heads.
Well, but I'd be okay with release the hounds and let's get a natural predator out there to start eating them, and you see the puff of feathers go up, and you got one.
Back in the day, they used to put Tums in the gooses and they'd blow up. But
I thought it was Alka-Seltzer, and it was the seagulls.
Yes. It was
Has
seagulls.
anyone ever actually done that? We used to hear that as kids all the time, that's what people would do. But look, I get what you're saying, but my thought is, though, just let the hunters have an unlimited number and this problem goes away. But thanks for calling. Appreciate you. Jim, Paul, Rich, I'll be back. Listen, you guys hang in there because I'm going to get to all your calls, but I also want to check in. A couple of local things going on that you need to know about. One, Somerset County, the other in Ocean County. Toms River in particular, another loss for the mayor of Toms River. It's very good progress. 8:56. Eric Scott with the news in 4 minutes.
Stay in the know with New Jersey 101.5 News. Get your Jersey news instantly by downloading our app. Listen on demand wherever you want, bringing the latest newscast right to your fingertips.
.909 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea. I want to thank Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook for sponsoring New Jersey Chime Time every morning, every hour on the show. All right, so we've been talking this morning. I'm trying to do something on Tuesdays. Monday we celebrate Small Business Monday. On Tuesday, I wanted to highlight what's happening in your local area because every local area has an issue, and things kind of blew up with this conversation about Peapack Gladstone and the killing of the geese, the gassing of the geese. And I'll be honest, and I know some of you are probably annoyed because I'm short on opinions, right? But I'm a little torn on this one. I hate the damn Canada geese. Same time, I think we ought to be empowering hunters to cull the flock, as it were. But I kind of got the point of the Save the Geese people as well. So anyway, one of the things that I want to do, and I'll get back to everybody who wants to talk about the geese, but I want to check in with Tim Howes. He is friend of mine, one of the top election attorneys in New Jersey, very smart guy. He is the chairman of the Somerset County Republicans. And in this whole vein of let's highlight local, what's happening in your neck of the woods, Tim's got a couple stories for us. What's going on, Tim? Good morning.
Hi, Bill. Thanks for having me on. And ironically, I'm coming to you from the borough of Peapack and Gladstone this morning.
So what do you think of this geese thing?
I think that Liberty Park Pond has been the centerpiece of our town for over 100 years. It was put up after World War I. And the geese have totally ruined the environment there.
Yeah.
So there's something has to be done. But that's not why I called in. I just thought I just like the irony of me calling in from Peapack.
Yeah, I love it.
We're about 2 months into a campaign for county commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
In Somerset County, we had a great convention on March 5th. 300 people attended. We had 4 people running for county commissioner, and they voted for 2, and that's Nick Cuso and Rocky Ganta.
Mm-hmm.
And so they promised to hit the ground running, and they did hit the ground running. And so we've been campaigning for two months.
And how is it going? Now, Tim, I've talked about this before, and you've come on the show a number of times that basically 7 out of 10 residents in Somerset County live in a town that is run by Republicans. Some are mixed, of course, but generally speaking, a town run by Republicans. Do you see that translating into a win this November, or at least in June and then into November for county commissioner seats? And what is the driving issue that people need to know about when it comes to their county government? Because most people have no idea that there's a county government.
So it's a very winnable race. We are outnumbered, but as I've said many times, Somerset County is like a good steak. It's red on the inside. As you point out, 70% of the people with Republican local government. Nick and Rocky they came up with the issues after they went and knocked doors for a while. And really, safe streets are important. I mean, you're familiar with along the 287 corridor and the 78 corridor, the car thefts and the related crime is, running rampant. And the Republican mayors have stepped in there and done some things. I mean, one of our good friends there was an attempted carjacking near Route 78 right in front of me of one of my good friends, Amber Murad. So that's a big thing. Nick and Rocky, one of the top three issues is supporting the local police, supporting the Blue, and not for nothing, making sure the roads and the bridges are repaired. That's safety too. So safe streets is up at the top of the list. And that's something obviously you really sink your teeth into with the way you.
Well, it's a great point, Tim. I mean, we talk about that there are 2,500 bridges across New Jersey that need some kind of repair. Now, to be fair, some of that just means they need a new coat of paint in some spot. But of those, 442 are in real trouble. I mean, literally considered structurally deficient. And I don't know what the count is in Somerset County of those 442, but there are a number of them. So I love to hear that. How do people get in touch with these guys if they want to help, if they want to ask questions, if they want to learn more about them? And know this, that I'll be happy to organize an event or attend an event and highlight an event to bring people in to help these two candidates out.
So it's on Facebook. It's Kuzo and Ganta for Somerset County Commissioner. We have a little hashtag that Nick's father ran for North Ward Council. So his slogan was Count on Kuzo. We've converted that now into the suburban Count on Kuzo Ganta. So that's our hashtag. SomersetCountyGOP.com is our website, and there'll be all sorts of information about these two dynamic candidates, both of whom have a master's degree, by the way.
No kidding.
Nick has a master of public policy from Rutgers, and Rocky has a Master of Science in Environmental Engineering from NJIT. So these are two Jersey guys.
Yeah, love it.
And well-educated, and they're working real hard.
All right, Tim. Well, thank you for the update. Nick Kuzo and Rocky Rakesh is his actual first name, Rakesh Ganta. They're both running for Somerset County Commissioner. You can go to the website. If you ask them, Tim, if they want to just tweet out a link to their Facebook page and tag me, I'll be happy to share that with the greater audience. And then I look forward to doing an event with them between now and June, and then certainly one after for the general.
Thanks a million, Bill. Have a great day.
You got it, Tim. That is Tim Howes, chairman of the Somerset County Republican Organization. And as I said, Somerset County, the job that Tim has is to convert those 7 out of 10 residents who are living in a Republican town in Somerset County and get that to translate into a county-wide win. The challenge is you got more Democrats than Republicans, but I think things are changing, and Nick Kuzo and Rocky Ganta, two very, very strong candidates. So let's see how things turn out. All right, other side of traffic and weather, I want to check in on the Toms River situation, and then we're going to get back to the geese. 9:16, Fast Traffic Instant Weather next.
Got something to say? Dial 800-283-1015. Join the conversation on New Jersey 101.5.
9:23 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea with you till 10 o'clock this morning. Talking Jersey, taking your calls, 1-800-283-101.5. So the Peapack Gladstone geese issue is about as hyper-local as you get, and we'll be back to that conversation. I do want to thank my friend Tim Howes for bringing up these two very strong candidates. And I'd like to see local become county in Somerset. So we will be pledging all of our support as much as we can with our common sense organizations as things heat up this summer to making sure that these two great candidates, Nick Kuzo and Rakesh Ganta, win their election for commissioner, because I think Somerset County residents, if you're happy with your local government, you'll be even happier when that local government is represented by county government. Now, on the other side, not too far across the state at the Shore region in Ocean County, there's been controversy in Toms River where a former Democrat mayor who turned Republican just because most voters in Toms River are Republican, he's the guy that shamed the cops. He's just a mess, just a gross dude who cares about himself and certainly doesn't care about the residents of Toms River. It was all about him and his ego. Well, he got smacked down when he passed that resolution. The township petitioners, more than 3,600 people, smacked him down and forced the town council to reverse an earlier decision about hiring cops. And now they've done the same thing. Now 4,000 signatures refuting the mayor once again. Let's go to Phil in Toms River, who can tell us a little bit about it. What happened, Phil?
Good morning, Bill. How you doing?
Good, man.
So today, around 2:30, residents of Toms River will present to the township clerk petition with about 4,000 signatures on it, over 4,000 signatures, to basically ask the council to reverse the ordinance that was done back on April 24th to have the Toms River Animal Shelter, one of the 4 animal shelters in New Jersey run by a municipality, sent over to the county.
Now, what was the mayor's reasoning behind that? Because we know we can't trust him. We know the guy's just a clown, and it should have never been elected in the first place. But what was his at least public presentation?
Oh, your guess is as good as ours.
Yeah.
Because basically in public, he has used stats that nobody can duplicate.
Yeah.
He has talked about the fact how the shelter was dirty, not run well, all these things he's thrown out there. And then when we went to the county meeting, the county said, quote unquote, we were told he's going to close it if we don't do something about it. And he said all along in the newspapers and in public meetings, I am not closing the shelter. So once again, he was.
So did he
called out.
lie? Did he just lie, flat out lie?
Between me and you and your listeners, he flat out lied.
Yeah.
And he has continued to do it.
Yeah.
And the people are sick of it. And
Yeah,
so
he's not a good guy. We gave him the benefit of the doubt. He won the primary, and we're like, all right, you know what? Here's a guy. Maybe it was genuine. He converted from Democrat to Republican. Maybe he saw an opportunity to embrace some ideas like our friend Jeff Van Drew. But Jeff Van Drew did it with integrity. He did it because he supports President Trump and supports the agenda of the Republican Party. It looks like this guy, Roderick, just decided it was in his own personal interest. And I mean, he is just a total mess. He's a sloppy guy. He's not that smart. And I love it. Look, Phil, the residents have spoken. More than 4,000 signatures is something big. That's a big deal.
This is about he has governed this year on vindictive issues that he's had, his personal intent. Even the last council meeting, we had 3 councilmen, Nivison, Kosis, and Quinless, who got up and spoke against this.
Yep.
And Mr. Nivison was elected with Roderick.
Yep.
Basically, the walls are starting to crumble around him because they work for the residents of Toms River, and we're not going to let our town be destroyed.
No, you're smart about it. There's a lot of hometown pride in Toms River. This guy is a total interloper, does not belong in that job. I hope once the year is up, you guys gather those signatures to throw him out of office, because when he went after the cops and shamed police officers by sending out a note to the residents, shaming cops with putting their salaries on a list, and, so many bad things can come when you go after your own police force that was it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I talked to some of my political allies in Ocean County. I said, that guy is absolutely a mess. He needs to go, and whatever I can do to help get rid of the mayor in Toms River, hopefully it'll be enough. But you know what? You guys are doing it on your own. 4,000 signatures. Phil, thanks.
But we definitely need your help.
You got my help. Phil,
we appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, man. Stay in touch. I'm on this with you. All right, you take care. Everybody else hang in there. I'll be back. We'll talk about the geese in Peapack Gladstone. The mayor wants to have his say. He'll have it on the side of the news next. 9:37 on New Jersey 101.5. Good morning. I am Bill Spadea with you till 10 o'clock this morning. Talking Jersey, taking your calls. 1-800-283-101.5. So a lot of stuff going on locally. A lot of contentious issues happening in Toms River. You got now the second petition. First one, well over 3,000 signatures. Second one, well over 4,000 signatures. First one to stop the mayor from his war on local police. And the second one to keep the local pet shelter open. It's amazing that it took thousands of locals to act. Now, a little further away from Toms River, the small town of Peapack Gladstone having their own problem. This one with Canada geese. Now, you know me. I am as anti-Canada geese as they get. I can't stand them. When I worked in Morris County, it was a daily problem. That said, we've got a group saying, hey, there's no need to gas these little buggers. There's a better way. What do you think? We'll check in with Mark Corigliano, who is the mayor of Peapack Gladstone and the guy under fire for gassing the geese. Mr. Mayor, how are you?
Good morning, Mr. Spadea. I'm good, thank you.
Good. So what do you want to say? What do you think? What's happening?
So this is indeed a vexing issue for our town, and it's really nothing new. We've been dealing with the geese in our town for 20 years ago, since 20 years ago, and the matter has become critical in the last couple of years. We've had upwards of almost 60 geese in our park. We don't have a large park. It's less than 2 acres. Most of that, 50-70% of that occupied by a pond. Mm-hmm. The pond is artificial. Despite what people say, it is not a natural habitat. The park was man-made. The pond was created back in the 1920s from an old sluice that used to run through town. Mm-hmm. And these animals have really invaded our park. We did a renovation of the park, nearly $1 million, about 2 years ago. When we did the architecturals for the park, we incorporated items to try to mitigate the geese issue by putting berms and plantings around the pond. When we first did these plantings, and I'm going to say over 1,000 plantings around the pond, the geese came in and they ripped out nearly every one, especially on one side of the pond. So we, of course, went to the contractor. You got to do something about this. Contractor comes in, puts another 1,000 plants in. This time, they put fencing on both sides of the berm, the newly created berm. And the next morning we came in and the geese were over the 5-foot fence eating the plants again.
Yeah.
Okay? And we've subsequently replaced them again one more time. We also put lily pads in the pond. Those are gone.
So, Mark, not to interrupt you, but let me ask you, what do you say to, we had a couple of folks call and they made a very good point about the new development coming in. What do you say to your detractors who say that this is just about catering to the developers and the rich folks who are going to buy these big fancy homes in the new development? Is this about the park or is it about the new development?
This is about the park. The people who are saying there's going to be some development there don't know what they're talking about. We just put $1 million into this park. This park is going nowhere, okay? It is going to be there forever, long after I'm gone. Perhaps these folks are conflating the development with a property nearby. As you may recall, Pfizer Corporation has a very large corporate campus in our town. Other side of the train tracks, other side of the river, couple thousand feet away. And Pfizer is essentially moving out of that complex.
Right.
We are currently working towards rezoning that complex for residential.
Smart.
Okay?
Smart.
Yeah, it's the right thing to
yes,
do.
Of course it is. Smart.
All these corporate complexes, we just heard about another one. All these corporate complexes in New Jersey are becoming our white elephants, and we need to do something about maintaining our tax base and redeveloping that corporate complex for a productive use.
Of course, we could have a better administration in Trenton doing a better job keeping jobs here, but that's another conversation we can have, right?
That's absolutely another conversation we could have, and we too look towards that. That Trenton has been honestly of no help in
none
in New Jersey. I know it's a shame.
Well, look, Mark, I have to tell you, I am so glad you called. Thank you for respecting the audience enough to call in and really shine a light on what is happening in Peapack. You know, I love to go right to the sources, and I was genuinely torn on this. You know, I started the day because I just don't like the damn geese, so I was ready to support anybody that wants to get rid of them. But, you know, then you get the counterpoint of folks saying, hey, this is really about development, and then you come in and just close the door on that. What you said makes a lot of sense. I agree with you 100%. Save the park. It's enough with these damn geese. You are describing the common sense solution, and I can tell you I truly appreciate it. So thank you for calling in.
a couple weeks ago, there was a protest. It was a peaceful protest, and some guy had a banner out there about redevelopment. What the hell are they talking about?
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing going on with our park. It's a red herring.
Yeah, there you go. Mark, thank you. Appreciate you.
Pleasure talking to you.
You take care. That is Mayor Mark Corigliano, who is the mayor of Peapack Gladstone. Guys, look, he makes a great point. If you live in that area, you want to use that park, you put $1 million into the park. It's not for the damn geese. It's for the people. I don't recall the geese paying their fair share of taxes. 9:43, Fast Traffic Instant Weather next.
Your phone, your radio. It's that simple. Download the New Jersey 101.5 app for an on-the-go listening experience. Thanks to our Listen Live sponsor, Guaranteed Service, New Jersey's premier plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical service provider.
9:52 on New Jersey 101.5. I am Bill Spadea. All right, let's wrap up this conversation because I got to get out of here. On the geese invading the park in Peapack, we'll go to Jim in Pennsauken. Jim, thank you for your patience this morning. I'm going to let you wrap up the show. What do you got?
Yeah, Bill, no one has mentioned a big problem with these geese.
Tell me.
The geese look for people, okay, because the people cannot resist feeding them. Now,
isn't that a great point?
They even recognize the cars. I'm in Pennsauken, right down there on the end of Duluth Avenue. There's a boat ramp. You can't walk around down there because it's all green because people feed them down there. Now you walk in that. People don't realize it's on your shoes. Then you walk it in your home, so through your carpets, and your house is filthy. Full of germs.
So do you agree, Jim? I mean, I agree with you that people should not be feeding these animals, but let's go beyond that. Is it time for an unlimited hunt?
Yes, the gassing is ridiculous. Hunt them. But the thing is, you can't use camouflage because they recognize camouflage and they will take off.
Really? So what do you hunt them with? You put a duck suit on? A goose suit?
No, if they see camouflage, they will take off. They will not stand around. But I notice when cars come down there who they recognize feed them, they run right to the cars.
I believe that. I'm not surprised. You know, animals are not stupid. I love it. Jim, thanks for calling. Appreciate your time. Thank you for chiming in. Let's wrap up this show with Paul in Bloomfield. Paul, you got a geese control company. Plug away.
How are you, Phil? Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
Yes, we do. The company is Birds Beware, and we specialize in bird and geese control. So I have a little bit of a different take on it. I am against euthanizing them and corralling them. I was asked by many developments if I would do that, and we do not harm the geese in any way. What we do is we'll haze them and harass them with the trained border collies. But not only
how do you haze them? Loud music, make them stay up all night?
No.
Drinking contests?
The border collies are trained to not harm the geese.
Got it.
But the border collie mimics a coyote. So when they see this border collie coming at them, they think it's a coyote, so it's a natural predator. So now they leave. So if you harass them and haze them enough, they just don't feel comfortable laying their eggs, nesting, and hanging around a particular park or development or school complex. We do many, many schools in New Jersey, about 9 different.
All right, so Paul, how do people get in touch with you to solve their geese problem? Go real quick, 10 seconds.
Birdsandgeesebeware.com.
Birdsandgeesebeware.com.
Yes, and one more quick thing. One way of controlling them is egg addling, and that is a legal way of controlling the population.
Yep, get the eggs out of the nest. The second time this morning, somebody used the term egg addling. Man, you never know what you're going to learn. Thank you, Paul. Have a great rest of your day. Guys, 9:55. I am Bill Spadea. I want to thank Mayor Mark Corigliano from Peapack for calling in. Guys, balance is what you hear on this show. I will see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Enjoy the day.
I call you on the telephone, my boy's too rough for cigarettes.
for listening to the Bill Spadea Show on demand. Don't forget to check out the latest online from Bill Spadea on our free app or NJ1015.com.
New Jersey 101.5.